Would you believe this pile of parts in front of me is all I need to make a stunning bespoke watch? Well, I promise you it is. So come along for the ride, as today I'm assembling an absolutely exquisite watch. The centerpiece of the watch I'm assembling today is actually not the dial, it's the case. It has an incredible sandblasted finish, but more remarkably, this case is not steel, it's titanium. Into this case, I'm going to be installing a venerable NH35 movement. Now my goal for today is to end up with a working watch. My secondary goal is to make an amazing looking watch that takes inspiration from the various Tiffany blue dial products out there on the market. And my third goal is to do it for a fraction of the cost of some of the big name brands out there. To hit that second objective, I've sourced 4 different dials to give me 4 slightly different aesthetics to choose from. Unlike in previous watch builds, where I've ummed and ahed about dial faces, this time I had a favourite right out of the gate. I feel that this starburst blue dial is an incredible colour, has an incredible finish, and has the hour markers that I like the most. But let's mock this up and see how each of the dials look as if they were fitted into the case. Doing this didn't really sway my opinion of this dial or any other dials, but let me know in the comments below which you would have picked. Now Tiffany blue is actually a very specific blue. Somewhat like a tealy baby blue, it has the hex color code 81D8D0, which this dial is not. But it's the dial that I enjoy the most and I think pairs best with this case, so I'm happy about my second goal being met. After snipping off the excess dial feet from the dial face and removing any burrs on the back of the dial, it simply needs to be press fit to the movement in order to secure it. The next process is to choose from a selection of 3 different handsets that I've sourced. I arrived at a relatively plain silver set of hands, as these offered the best contrast to the dial face. Fitting the hands is quite a task. In my view, it's the hardest part of the build, which is evidenced by the fact that it was the longest portion of the build for me, and the fact that my head is in the way of the camera, as I was giving full attention to fitting the hands and not filming. But with that aspect complete, I'm definitely out of the woods, and on my way to completing this watch. The one remaining critical element of this build is shortening of the crown stem. After fitting the movement into the watch case, I can then take a measurement of how much length needs to come off the crown stem for the screw down crown to fit nicely and operate correctly. I removed excess length from the crown stem across a number of operations in order to not overshoot like I had done so many times in the past. All the stars aligned and I had success in getting the crown stem to the correct length without any stuff ups, so goal 1 is met. I have a functioning watch. With that dealt with, we can now seal up the case and affix the bracelet. The watch is finished and I'm happy that I've hit my first goal. It works. I've hit my second goal. I think it looks great. And my third goal, well, all these parts together cost me less than 150 Australian dollars. That's a fair few zeros off a lot of the options on the market. All in all, I think this is a stunner. Even being slightly small on my wrist at 40mm, I love it, and it's going to see a lot of wear. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this build, and if you wanted to put one together yourself, check out the links in the video description for where to find parts. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time, guys.